Hey guys, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this one Homeschooling 2. Because earlier I did a homeschooling and I basically just talked about the curriculum and the socialization and the legal aspect of it. Now I want to talk about the resources. And guys, you have so many resources available to you now, so much more than I had available to me when I started 17 years ago. Let me tell you, you can go online and Google free school worksheets or free math worksheets, free spelling worksheets, free science worksheets. And they will bring you to these sites, and you can go age appropriate, you can go grade appropriate, and you can get free worksheets, or you can join the site. Now, there was one that I joined and I was part of for about 8 years because I did it with the girls and then on through with the boys. And I tell you what, it was an amazing thing to have, because what you can do is, if you have a printer, is you can print out workbooks. And the way I used to do it is I had a clear cover, and I would either put the clear cover on there or I would staple the workbooks together. And I always tried to make it fun and interesting for my kids. And I would go to, I believe it was Office Max, and I would get the different colored printer paper. And I would do like chapter A on maybe green, and then chapter B on yellow, and so on and so on. And my kids absolutely loved these because they would help me make them. And it was part of not only their learning curriculum, but it was also a fun, us doing something together, arts and craft project. And we enjoyed doing that. We would build the workbooks, and then we would put them together, and then they would do the work. And guys, I want to tell you, if you're going to print out workbooks, don't ever print out the cover page or the index page. You don't need them. And if you're doing multiple books, you only need to print out one answer sheet. You don't have to print it out for all 5 books if you're doing 5 of the same. And this is how you save on your ink and your printer paper. Because a lot of times I used to find that when you're doing a workbook from online, they'll show you the cover of the workbook would be like some big like hot air balloon or something like that, and that would just eat up all of my printer ink. And by the time I needed to print out the actual work, I'm low on ink. So it's like, I learned how to go through and, skip this page, skip that page. And if there was pages in the workbook that really weren't consistent with what we were learning at the time, I'd skip those too. So, but guys, seriously, there are so many resources out there. And I know in Homeschooling 1, I hit on the public library, and that is a great resource. If you don't have a printer, go there and print out your workbooks. Now, the only thing with that is I don't know, because I've never asked. I mean, they might, like they might not, but I've never asked if I could bring my own paper. So you probably end up, if you're doing it there, you'll probably end up just doing it on white paper. But if that's what you have to do to get started, another thing is you're on YouTube already. So while you're here, you can look up videos, and they have them in full now, because I went and looked this up just a little while ago. And I paid $90 for mine because I went and got the hard copy, the disc set. And guys, let me tell you, nowadays y'all have it so much easier and a lot cheaper than, I'm telling you, than when I first started. Because go on your YouTube search and type in "Your Baby Can Read." And this is an excellent reading program for young children to help them learn to read, and or older children who are having difficulty with reading. You can also type in such titles as Leapfrog. They have great reading, spelling, and math programs. And I'm sure there's other programs or videos that I'm not even aware of. So that's just to give you a basic idea to get you started. Guys, there is so much available now that if you can think it, Google it. If it's something you need as a resource, because they have audio books now that you can have read to you. They have math games that you can play online. They have spelling, reading, history, science. Guys, it's all out there. It is all out there. So I'm telling you, online is the place to be. And if you're going to homeschool, online is the place to be. I tell you what, my kids, when they were younger, the biggest thing they enjoyed was looking up cooking recipes. And I'm sure I made my Facebook friends psycho crazy back in the day with the videos of my kids cooking, because I have pictures and videos on my Facebook of my boys when they were 6 and 7 cooking hamburgers and doing the whole nine. Because the way we did it, our homeschooling classes consisted of home ec and math, reading, spelling, science, history, and world involvement. And basically what the world involvement was it was the socialization that I talked about in part one. And that was, world involvement means going to the grocery store, going to the Y, going on vacation as we did, going to Six Flags. I mean, all these things where you have to interact with other people and or, do some task out in public. And here's the thing. When my kids were younger, I would purposely set up different tasks to teach them how to be responsible, how to be sympathetic, how to be empathetic, how to be caring of other people, how to be aware of their surroundings. And so what I would do is we would walk through the door and we would have them to hold it open, not just for us, but for a stranger coming through as well. And I remember one time, my youngest, he's now 15, but at the time I believe he was 8 or 9. And he came to me and he said, "Mama, that lady didn't say thank you." And I said, "That's okay, son." Because see, and here was a very teachable moment. And every moment when a child is young is a very teachable moment. And so I took the opportunity to let him know that I just looked at him, I said, "That's okay, son." Because we are not responsible for what other people do, say, think. We are only responsible for our actions, what you do, what you say, what you think, and how you act upon that. And it's unfortunate that someone didn't love her enough to teach her good manners. But you, my very intelligent little boy, held the door for her like you should, regardless. And that's all that matters. And he looked at me and he said, "Mama, you're right. And I hope she's okay the rest of the night." And at that point, I realized that he was absorbing, he was learning, and he was thinking, and he was compassionate for other people. And so, every moment, guys, when you decide to homeschool, every single class never ends. I can honestly tell you, at my house and my family, class never ends. Even today with my children, my babies are 17 and 15, and class doesn't end. I mean, my children come to me sometimes 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, asking me off the wall questions. And first off, don't get me wrong. Now, I know that time of night, sometimes they're just trying to kick a conversation so they can stay up because they're supposed to be going to bed at 10:30. But Daddy doesn't get off of work till 11, doesn't get home till about 11:15 sometimes. So I kind of let them stay up to say goodnight to Daddy. But for the most part, they're just trying to come to me with, let's start a conversation with Mom so we can stay up. I'm hip to that. But sometimes they come to me with legitimate questions that time of night. And like I said, every moment is a teaching moment. And if I can teach them, then I do. And even with my older children who are 24 now, because my daughter just had a birthday. My baby girl, she just had a birthday. She's 24. And my oldest is 27. And they come to me sometimes with... my 27-year-old will come to me with different things, and if I can use it as a teachable moment, I do, because she is the mother of 2 now. So, guys, even if you public school, even if your kids go to public school, home should be a learning environment, whether you're the 24-hour teacher or whether you're just, the teacher of morals and values and religion and that kind of thing. Because we as parents, we're always the first teacher, and we should be the last. So I'm going to wrap this up, and you guys have a good rest of the weekend.